the laws of Chanukah. Starting from the 24th of Kislev, by Mincha time, we discontinue the saying of Tachanun until the end of Chanukah, which is until after the 8th day. Beginning from Motzei Chanukah, meaning Motzei the 8th day, we begin saying Tachanun in Kirshma Shalomito. Regarding visiting cemeteries, so it's similar to the Inyan of Tachanun, that just like Chanukah is a time of joy and happiness, where we're celebrating the miracle that Hashem did to us, and we don't say Tachanun, similarly, we avoid visiting cemeteries during this time. And therefore, even if one has a yahrzeit, or the end of Shiva, or Shleishim, during Chanukah, the custom is to go beforehand, such as on Erev Chanukah, in memory, in commemoration of the deceased. Nevertheless, regarding Kivrei Tzadikim, there's no problem to visit Kivrei Tzadikim during Chanukah. And even regarding other Kvarim, although we said earlier that we don't go, the widespread custom has become lenient in this matter, although there are those that are still stringent, as is the original ruling as brought in a number of Peskim, such as the Ben Ish Chai. Eating and doing Melacha before candle lighting. When the time of candle lighting arrives, which according to our minhag is right after Shkia, it is forbidden for a person that has a chiyuv, has an obligation to light, meaning if he's the household leader and he needs to light the candles, it's forbidden for him from that time and onwards to eat a meal, to do Melacha, to even learn Torah and fulfill the mitzvah. And this follows the ruling of every mitzvah shehazman grama, which is caused by a specific time, that it's forbidden to do work or eat a meal prior to doing the mitzvahs you may come to forget. So records the Berhetiv in chapter 672, Halacha 2, and the Mishnah Berurah in chapter 672, Halacha 10. Nevertheless, if one began eating a meal beforehand, or began doing work beforehand prior to the time of lighting, then although when it reaches a half hour prior to candle lighting, he does not have to stop, but when the time of candle lighting arrives, which is after Shkia, he must stop. Nevertheless, the Chatchila, one should refrain from starting work and starting a meal for a half hour before Shkia. However, regarding learning Torah, one need not be stringent regarding avoiding learning Torah until actual Shkia arrives, in which one is to light candles. In a case that one is unable to light candles at the correct time, for different reasons, obviously there's no issue for him to learn Torah and matters of the like during this time, as we do not expect him to sit idle until he is able to fulfill the mitzvah. But rather it applies to someone who has the ability to fulfill the mitzvah and is delaying it. Then we say that he cannot do any of these things until he fulfills the mitzvah, lest he will forget. Doing work on Chanukah. So as we know, it is brought in Shulchanaruchharav, chapter 670, Halacha 1. The days of Chanukah are permitted in Melacha, they're not even like Chol Hamoed, and there's no restrictions on Melacha. Nevertheless, it's a minhag nashim, a custom for women, not to do any work while the candles are lit for the first half hour. So for the first half hour after the husband lights the Chanukah candles, the wives and the daughters are to sit, contemplate the miracle, and not to do any Melacha during that time. And women are not allowed to be lenient in this. There are places that also men are makbid in this, and this is minhag Lubavitch, as is written in the Sefer Minhagim, that we stay near the candles and discuss the Chanukah miracle for the first half hour. Being that one of the whole purposes of using this time to not do work is to contemplate the miracle, therefore it's not proper during this time to cook or to make latkes, etc., even though from the letter of the law it is definitely permitted that this is not included in work. And therefore in the time of need, woman may do so during the half hour. However, again, as is written in the Levush, preferably the time should be used for contemplating the miracle that occurred. As for the reason why specifically women received the widespread custom of not doing Melacha, so various reasons have been given. Some write, as a Taz and Magen Avram, that the reason is because the miracle took place through the woman, through Yehudis. Alternatively, the reason is because the decrees of the Greeks were specifically harsh against women. After the half hour has passed, it is permitted for everyone, men and women, to do work. However, as written in Sefer Minhagim, the work should not be done in full view of the burning lights. And this applies equally to all nights of Chanukah.